When you think of pigs, you probably get an image of the famous Porky Pig, or maybe Pumbaa from The Lion King. Some may think of a greedy or dirty animal that provides one of the tastiest meats in the world. In actuality, there are species of pig that come in various sizes that far from resemble our popular peach-colored Warner Brothers porker. Here are 15 pigs you won't believe actually exist. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to The Supreme, and click the notification bell for more lit content. Let's get rolling. Number 15. Big Norm. We begin our list in Hubbardsville, New York, measuring 8 feet long from snout to tail and tipping the scales at an astonishing 1,600 pounds. Norm, as he's known by the locals, is anything but that. Named after a character from the TV show Cheers, this award-winning Yorkshire pig spends the majority of his day eating and sleeping, and doing both to the max. Norm scarfs down about 20 gallons of corn feed every day. 20 gallons! That's double the daily intake of the other 39 hogs on the farm combined. And when it comes to sleeping arrangements, this Porky Pig is no complainer. Norm spends up to 20 hours a day laying around and napping in the mud. Hey, it beats being bacon. Sadly, Norm passed away in 2008 after a heart attack. His owner, Carrie Dart, needed a tractor just to move Norm to his final resting place, where he plans to build a memorial. Number 14. Pigzilla. Monster Pig, also known as Pigzilla, was killed on a hunting preserve by an 11-year-old boy down in Alabama. It took 16 shots to bring this behemoth down, a pretty dangerous feat, figuring that boars are known to charge when in danger. Pigzilla weighed in at 1,050 pounds and measured over 9 feet in length. As it turns out, Pigzilla was a domesticated wild boar named Fred that was sold to the game preserve by his owners. How did a domesticated pig get that big? The same way we do, by overeating. Fred's former owners kept the pounds packed on by feeding him his favorite foods, sweet potatoes. Now, that's a whole lot of carbs. Due to his massive size, it required trees to be cut down in a tractor just to move Fred after the hunt. Pretty amazing, seeing as though Fred was probably 10 times the weight of his hunter. Number 13. Maybelle the Pot-Bellied Pig. Pig has never been a term of endearment for anyone. We use the word daily and almost never referring to a barnyard animal. But how does that make the pigs feel? Well, if you're Maybelle the Pot-Bellied Pig, depressed is how you feel. This little piggy has been in the care of the Animal Rescue League of Boston after being poorly cared for by her previous owners. Due to overfeeding and close to no time outside, she arrived weighing close to 200 pounds. This left her unhealthy, immobile, nearly blind, and majorly depressed. After the ARL determined that Maybelle's ideal weight should be around 130 pounds, they whipped up a plan to turn her potbelly into a beach body. With a strict diet consisting of 6 small meals a day and exercise, she was able to drop 20 pounds in just a few months. A happier and more mobile Maybelle was adopted by a family who had a house built for her in their backyard. With plans on managing her diet and continuing weight loss, Maybelle the Pot-Bellied Pig may be in for a name change in the near future. Number 12. Boris the Giant Swine. Have you ever bought something that was not as it seemed? You get all the way home from the store and realize, hey, this is the wrong product. Normally, you can just take it back and return it, unless it was an entire pig. All the way over in Australia, we find Boris, a 3-year-old pet pig. When bought, his owners were told that he was a miniature breed and wouldn't get past 130 pounds. Well, fast forward a few years and little Boris ballooned to 550 pounds. Yikes. Talk about big bacon. Luckily for him, his veterinarian popped in the jazzercise tape and got his plump porker on a diet. Now, just like every dieter, Boris struggled in the beginning, even getting caught sneaking food from the fridge. But after sweating to the oldies, Boris was able to drop significant weight, 70 pounds. Unfortunately, the massive weight loss created another problem, a ton of loose skin which began to droop over his eyes, limiting his ability to see. But no worries, taking a page straight from Hollywood, Boris met with a surgeon and had a brow lift. Diets, cosmetic surgery, I'm sensing a reality show in the near future. Number 11. Tickle Me Elmo III. When you hear the name Tickle Me Elmo, you, like the rest of us, probably think red, furry puppet. But if you head on over to the world's largest male hog contest at Indiana State Fair, then the name might evoke a different set of visuals. Mud and blue ribbons. Tickle Me Elmo III, a Duroc pig which typically weighs in at around 880 pounds, is one big pig. At just 4 years old, this overgrown oinker was already weighing in at 1,303 pounds. That's roughly the same weight as an Indy car. In 2012, this pig came in first place, beating the closest competition by nearly 350 pounds. And with a diet that's 3 times more than your average boar, this little piggy will be making plenty of trips to the market. Britain's biggest boar. Initially purchased for slaughter, Boris's future wasn't looking too promising, but after becoming part of the family, he now lives the life most of us could only wish for. Boris, a cross between a Gloucester Old Spot and large white pig, has the unofficial title of Britain's biggest boar, and while the name may be off-putting, I can promise his life is anything but that. At 925 pounds, Boris would be most pig farmers' dream. 925 pounds of pig roughly translates to 32 pounds of pork shoulder, 54 pounds of pork chops, 72 pounds of ham, and 112 pounds of bacon. But Boris has another skill that makes him slightly more valuable: making piglets. That's right, Boris the heavyweight is also Boris the baby maker, helping sire around 70 piglets a year. He is so massive, however, he's only mated with females who are able to support his size, as he can easily crush a smaller pig. So matchmakers beware. Eating 3 kilograms of barley and wheat a day, sleeping and mating, Boris truly lives the life of a rock star. And considering he has enough meat on him to feed a family of 4 for 2 years, if he had any complaints, I'm sure he'd keep them to himself. Big Bill the hog. Big Bill, a Poland China hog, was bought from a farmer in Tennessee in 1930 for only $3.65. Bill was the only piglet left after his mother tragically rolled over on the rest of his brothers and sisters, killing them. When Bill was old enough, he was put in the pen with the rest of the pigs to begin the fattening process. However, his owners quickly noticed that Bill wasn't fattening, but getting bigger. By 1932, Bill had gone from 200 pounds to 1,450 pounds, measuring over 8 feet from nose to tail, and almost 4 feet tall. And he didn't stop there. Big Bill went on to reach 2,500 pounds. By this time, Big Bill had become a big celebrity. His owner would go on exhibitions all over the state, charging people up to 10 cents to see the Big Bill. Bill became so famous that he was invited to the World's Fair in Chicago in 1933. Sadly, Bill was euthanized after he was injured in a scaffolding collapse while trying to obtain his weight. His owner had him mounted and eventually was sold to a circus. Big Bill's final measurements were 2,550 pounds, 5 feet tall, and 9 feet long. Radioactive pigs from Japan. What could be scarier than being charged at by a wild boar? How about a wild radioactive boar? No, this isn't some late-night science fiction movie. In 2011, after the Fukushima disaster in Japan, residents there were forced to leave their homes and relocate because of the radioactive fallout. Nearly 160,000 people left, however, not everyone got the memo. Wild boars, who still roamed the countryside, decided to stick around, like unwanted house guests, eating everything in sight. Farms full of food, stores, and kitchens, all laid out like a wild boar buffet. Who can blame them? Unfortunately for the pigs, the residents have begun moving back to Fukushima, which means they have to go. Hunters from nearby towns were dispatched to hunt down the boars. But with the hunters being extremely outnumbered, there's no telling when the town's new inhabitants will decide it's their turn to relocate. The pig deer of Indonesia. Is it a pig or is it a deer? That's a question that I never thought I'd have to ask myself. They're pigs, but their tusks poke out like deer antlers. Say hello to the Barbaroussa, which translates to wild pig with a dental problem. Hailing from the swamps and rainforests of Indonesia, the name couldn't be more fitting. What are those amazing tusks used for? Fighting off predators? Flirting with the ladies? And with some tusks reaching past 12 inches, I'm sure the visits to the dentist are no fun. Some tusks have been seen to even curl to the back of the pig's head. In the wild, they've been seen in groups with up to 8 females. Now, that is a lot of ladies to impress. These omnivorous pig deer are also known to be independent at just 10 days old, younger than any other species of pig. Can you imagine your 10-day-old infant walking around and preparing their own food? I'd welcome it. This pig can get 2 to 3 feet tall and weigh about 200 pounds. Not the biggest pigs, but the 12-inch tusk on these guys can be pretty dangerous. Africa's giant forest hog. The giant forest hog is considered to be the largest member of the wild pig family. Native to Africa, adults can measure up to 7 feet long, 4 feet tall, and weigh up to 600 pounds. They have tusks that measure up to 14 inches, and they're extensively covered in hair that becomes less pronounced as they age. Just like us, the African giant forest hog is an herbivore, but has been known to scavenge and even drive away wild hyenas while competing for food. But despite their large size and aggressive behavior tendencies, the giant African forest hog has been known to fall victim to leopards and hyenas. There have been attempts to tame and domesticate this pig, however, it has not been widely practiced. I think I'll stick with the dog for now. Reggie. Weighing in at 1,450 pounds, Reggie won world's largest hog at the Indiana State Fair back in 2011 and 2012. This hefty hog took the crown from a previous winner who weighed in at only 1,340 pounds. How did Reggie get to this size? Well, his owner feeds him an average of 25 pounds of food a day. His diet consists of 5-gallon pails of corn and soy each day, along with Twinkies, Ho-Hos, and donuts. Reggie manages to squeeze in melons and cantaloupe sometimes. His owners did say he refuses to eat squash. Believe it or not, Reggie gets daily exercise, reluctantly, as he does not like to be forced. Instead, his owner must use food and gates to coerce him to move to other spots. Happily, all the prize money earned by Reggie goes to a charity that serves children with congenital heart conditions. The biggest warthog in the world. Sadly, the giant warthog does not resemble Pumbaa from The Lion King. This species of warthog can get up to 7 feet in length. This does not include the tail, which can add an additional 10 inches in length. But when it comes to speed, this warthog is more like Sonic the Hedgehog. These hogs hurry through the forest at a speed of up to 30 miles an hour. Maybe they're late. These speed demons also have very pronounced ivory tusks and have been poached by ivory dealers because of it. No wonder they run so fast. These pigs are known to be pretty aggressive as they defend themselves with those beautiful tusks. However, they're usually nocturnal pigs and are herbivores for the most part. Now, let's see how much braces cost. Mutant double muscle pigs. Think of Porky Pig. Now imagine him drinking protein shakes, pumping iron, and skipping leg day. Well, that's just what will pop in your head when you see these double muscle pigs. Molecular biologists in Korea have been working on altering the genetics of pigs to increase their meat yield. While there's science behind this may be confusing, the outcome is easy to understand. Bigger pigs, bigger plates. According to scientists, it would take years to selectively breed bigger pigs, but with a little tweak of the myostatin gene, which regulates muscle growth, the pigs can be buffed up by spring break. Sounds like my kind of workout. More than 30 piglets have successfully undergone the simple genetic editing process. And while they're still in the research phase, the results are looking promising. Big fat casino pigs. Las Vegas, money, good times, pigs? Just 12 miles off the Las Vegas Strip sits a 160-acre farm owned by Bob Combs. There he has plenty of pigs, close to 5,000 of them actually. And those pigs eat very well. That's because Bob's pigs eat the same food that we do. Seen by many as a recycling revolutionary, Bob collects the scraps from area buffets and feeds them to his pigs instead of buying grains. After trucking all the food back to his farm, it's sorted from the garbage and then stewed until just right for pig consumption. Bob even recycles all the pig waste and uses it for fertilizer. After the pigs have had their fill, they are shipped out for processing, with some even returning back to the buffets and eventually right back to Bob's farm. Bob has even reportedly turned down offers of up to $70 million for his farm, which is turning out to be a win-win situation for everyone involved. Black Iberian pigs. The Black Iberian pig is the Lamborghini of swine. Think of Wagyu beef, but pork. Their high intramuscular and epidermal fat marbling gives this delicacy a smooth texture and rich, savory taste, highly sought after by chefs and gastronomes alike. And at a cost of upwards of $4,500 for one leg, it's definitely not your mom's famous glazed ham. Black Iberian pigs are found in central and southern parts of Portugal and Spain and date all the way back to the Neolithic period when man first began domesticating animals. The amazing marbling in their meat comes from their strict diet of acorns called bellotas in Spanish. Rich in nutrients and fatty acids, the bellotas are a sort of pig superfood. The pigs also require plenty of room to roam, 1 hectare per every 2 pigs. This in turn allows the pig to stay active while it eats, burning calories and adding to that awesome marbling. Some pigs grow to incredible sizes, some eat incredible foods, and some become incredible foods. Nonetheless, they're all incredible in their own ways and provide us with amazement, intrigue, and even companionship. I may not skip out on the bacon next time, but I definitely will wonder which kind of pig it came from, since there are so many different possibilities. So, there you have it. 15 pigs you won't believe actually exist.